What is up, guys? Mcdoubles back here with a brand new video. Today, I'm going to introduce you guys to my warrior character on Dragonflight. We're going to start the journey on him. I've got a lot of things I want to do today. A lot of gear to progress in, Mythic Plus, transmog. As you can see, we're already looking pretty good, but we're not done, and more. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's jump right in. Okay, guys, so real talk, I went ahead and I leveled this guy real quick. Actually, I boosted him to 60, not gonna lie, but then I leveled him 60 to 70, if that counts for anything. And the reason I went ahead and I actually did the boost is because I thought to myself, I want to play a melee that gets up in your face and makes you want to kill yourself in PvP, you know what I mean? Like, something that's almost like an Unholy Death Knight, but a little bit more respectful. So I picked Warrior, and here we are. Now, I was playing Arms Warrior for the longest time, bros. I really thought that was the way to go, and I think it got buffed recently with the patch on Tuesday, but I switched to Fury, because I've never played modern Fury Warrior, and Fury's always been the spec that I shied away from. We are obviously going with the pink aesthetic, a single shoulder, okay? Not two, because that's something you can apparently do on Dragonflight. Single shoulder transmogs, amazing. I've got a skirt on, I mean, anything to really enrage you when I kill you in a BG. You know, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I did try some solo shuffle. I talked to you guys about it in my last non-retail video about the state of solo shuffle. Even though I really love the game mode, I think it's great for people like me who play mostly on their own. But the thing is, the queue times, as you can see, I'm already 11 minutes in right now. It won't pop until 25 to 40 minutes in, and that makes it really hard to rank up. So I played my first game as an example as Fury. I did decent, 4 rounds won, but if I do anything, if I go 3-3, if I go 2-4, if I have any bad games, you are punished so heavily, so heavily. I talked to you guys about how I got my rogue to 1900, and then I'm trying to go fast, obviously, right? I end up tilting, and then like the punishment for a tilt feels way worse actually than if I just played normal 2v2 or 3v3. I know that's crazy, but it actually is 100% true. I say we just chill right now on Dragonflight, you know? Why care? We have Mythic Plus to do, we have raiding to do, we have story to do, we have world quest to do. I still haven't got Bird Watcher because this freaking Eldoran guy will not spawn. Possible spawn every 30 minutes, you say? Well, that's not what it used to say. We'll have to check that on my shaman, but man, like that's the guy that has the achievement ready to go. But still, like he pulls out the little map on retail. I never get over that. There's so many things to do, and I want to do a little bit of it today on this new guy. I want to introduce you to him because you saw my rogue, you saw my shaman. Let's try Arms Warrior. Of course, I'm going to start the video showing you guys my journey with Fury and solo shuffle. Really enjoyed that. Show you guys the rank I left at before deciding to stop. Then we're going to go to PvE, right? I'm going to show you guys the BLADESTORM pumper build very early in the video. We're going to be starting that journey from scratch, trying to build it ourselves, not looking up other people's builds. The way I do my builds is number 1, I want it to be easy to play. Number 2, I want it to be fun to play. And number 3, I personally enjoy a good theme, right? I want to feel like I'm doing something, and I don't just want things to feel all over the place like I just picked a bunch of random crap so I could do the most damage. I'll take 5% less damage for 5% more fun. That's kind of how I roll, and we'll see if we can make that work. But the first thing I want to do in the video, my friends, I want to accomplish this. Where is it actually? Here it is, I think it's the Amethyst Beholder Eye. Let's see. No, that's Cloth. I need the plate one. Crimson Beholder. Aha! I need this. Now, this is actually the coloring of it, by the way. My brightness isn't too low. This is a horrible picture that they did. Oh, there you go. That's a much better one. Thank you to Maureen. This is crimson, they say, but it's not. It's pink. I thought to myself, what a beautiful, it's plate, by the way, transmog helmet for little McYeet right here, right? I mean, come on. He's just begging for a eye patch that's also not an eye patch, you know, a pink eye patch. I think that's what we got to do. In order to get this, it's a 20% chance to drop. Ooh, look at that guy. He's looking pretty snazzy, isn't he? 20% chance to drop from this guy, Collidus the Warp-Watcher, which I think it says this is an NPC that can be found in Shadow Moon Valley. So let's do it. Let's go check. It's so weird flying the normal way. Like, you don't even realize how inferior it is because when it came out, flying was amazing. And like getting 310% flying, amazing. Here I am with 280, but still. And here you go, you know, back to the Dragonflight world, and suddenly you fly in such a crazy way. So we have to go all the way down here to, wow, this map is so much better. When did they update the old map? This is beautiful. So we're going to go to Shadow Moon Valley. As you guys can see, he's going to spawn on the top right by the Black Temple, or apparently in this little ridge right here in the middle as well. We'll check both. We're flying. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. But you see what I mean? Like, imagine having to use Dragonflight flying for this. Actually, it would be so fast, I'd probably already be there by now. Ooh, a solo shuffle. Well, hey, We could break up the monotony with a quick PvP match. I have barely played Fury Warrior on Dragonflight, and you might be asking yourself, why would you queue for rated PvP? I'll be real, I just like to get into the thick of things, man. Ultimately, I know that the correct way to do it would be to try to hone my skill in BGs and, you know, skirmishes and stuff like that. But sometimes I just like to see where I'm at when it's just raw, natural skill playing and absolutely nothing else. Okay, so we've got Hunter on our team and Shaman against another Hunter and a freaking Arms Warrior. So who's the better warrior? Arms Warrior is interesting, man. I'll just, like, you know, dawdle around a bit, wait for that Hunter to come out. Rampage, there he is. Go for, oh god, I got disarmed. Piercing Howl, Commanding Shout, popping cooldowns. Can I kill this guy? I'm actually a little scared. Enrage regeneration. Oh no, I don't have the thing that's actually doing damage against shields. What a donkey. They still have this crazy bug, dude, that they have not fixed with patch day. Look how I can't see the nameplate of this freaking Hunter. To me, it's exploiting, even though I know it's not this guy's fault. At least we won, but, like, that is insane. I know I have a Hunter too, and he's exploiting theoretically as well.
Round 2, fight.
Let's get on this guy. Popping cooldowns, because why not? He can't move. Odin's Fury. I should have popped that bleed sooner, I'm sure. I don't think I'm gonna die. I have the enrage regeneration up. Stun that guy. I'm just LOSing the Hunters while he has that turtle thing up, because he doesn't take any damage. I'm back on him, just, like, literally pew-pewing. They're like, oh, fuck it, this guy, he's not taking damage. Let's go on the Arms Warrior. No, I'm a gnome, bro. You can't root me. Oh my god, do you see that? I hate this. At least his nameplate didn't go away that time. Like, I understand what Feigned Death is. I'm not complaining about Feigned Death. I'm complaining about the weird bug with the UI right there. Oh, look at the monk! Look at that giant shield. It feels so good. Odin's Fury. I don't have my intimidating shout because I'm a donkey. Okay, I did actually use my impending stuff right there, so I got some HP back from it. It's like Victory Rush, but you can use it all the time. He's stunned, mostly because I don't want to take too much extra damage right now. I'm LOSing real quick, but I don't know. I just keep getting scared. Popping every cooldown. Oh! Holy shit, dude. Part of, like, the random game mode is that you can't always rely on your teammates, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know if they're gonna make the right decision. Nice! I feel good about that, guys. I feel really good about that. Can I just get, like, a free win, dude? I don't even care. I was talking to you guys, and I was like, I'll be honest, like, part of the reason I don't like PvP sometimes is because I get too focused on my rank, and then I end up tilting, but I hyper-focus, and I don't even know what's going on in the world. I'll only dead set do one freaking thing. Who would have thought if you PvP for, like, 15 hours straight, you can't play well? Oh, that was look at that. I'm disarmed, but wasn't that nice? Oh, whoa! What was that burst from this Hunter, dude? I was just like, oh, I guess I get a free Bloodthirst kill. Oh my god. Oh my god. I feel like I just got cucked. Like, sometimes there's just nothing you can do, you know what I mean? I want you guys to understand that that's literally my second game ever as Fury Warrior. Ever, okay? Anyway, we are actually flying to Shadow Moon Valley because it looks like I do have the Wildhammer Stronghold stuff. So let's go ahead and make it happen and see if we can get this guy spawned, killed, and see if we get the proper goggles. Damn, guys, I learned some things. First of all, I'm going all over the map, right? I have these little pink spots showing me where Collidus could be. He's nowhere. I've even got a macro where I'm targeting him. I have his name targeted right. Yeah, nothing, man. Now, I looked it up, and apparently he has like an 8-hour spawn time, and apparently, once again, he's something that's coveted, and I don't know why this happens to me, you know? I guess it makes sense. Like, obviously, he's coveted because somebody like me would be looking for something at first glance, and they'd be like, oh, shit, this is an amazing piece of gear. I want it. Where does it come from? And it comes from this guy, right? So I guess we just keep checking as the day goes on, and we hope that when we come over here, he is here. So at this precise moment, I did exactly what I just warned myself about, and I'm editing right now, so I'm thinking to myself, you freaking idiot, dude. I just get hit so hard by the sink cost fallacy if I lose 40 rating, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to keep playing. But anyway, we did get rival real quick, just, you know, spamming some solo shuffle, and I think it was a lot of fun. But what I want to do is actually start building up this character, right? Doing M+, doing the dailies, getting our gear up, really progressing. So that's going to be the major goal. And like I said, I'm happy with what I've accomplished. So now, my friends, we jump onto the BLADESTORM build. Okay, so even though in these videos I typically do show lots of progression, we are going to pivot now in this video. The reason being is that while I think solo shuffle is really interesting and it really is the best concept for PvP that's been added in World of Warcraft in a long time, there are still lots of things wrong with it. And I'll be honest with you guys, I was losing my mental health. I was actually feeling like a worse person. So I'm rival, and you know what? I'm going to change my mindset and be proud of myself. And we're going to use this 398 Crimson Gladiator Greatsword and start making a PvE build. Now, by the way, guys, I did mention that Amethyst Eye Patch or Crimson Eye Patch or something like that, right? And I'm going to look for it real quick because it turns out you can just buy it off the auction house. So why would I farm it when I can buy it off the auction house? Doesn't even make any sense. Wait a second. Like, I saw this on the auction house yesterday. Apparently, it's not there. I feel like I'm literally being punked right now. Like, I just assumed it would still be on the auction house. Apparently, there aren't any on my server now. What the hell? That's so stupid. Are you kidding? Okay. Okay, so I guess we still have to be on the hunt for that eye patch, dude. I literally thought I was just gonna buy it this morning, right? I guess I'm not. Okay. Okay, so I start off my journey by making my own arms warrior build, hyper-focusing on the BLADESTORM. Obviously, M+ is the main thing I'm gonna set my sights on in this video, and we start off with something like this, and we kind of slowly morph after we do our time-walking dungeons and a little bit of preliminary stuff into something that looks more like this. Now,
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture.
this is still subject to change. I am not looking at anybody else's build, and I'm not watching other warrior players who feel like they're established on here, so I am just trying to make this happen myself. That's what's fun for me, and also, I don't like Skull Splitter, and we'll talk more about that as well. Okay, but before we do that, I actually do need a brand new trinket. I really don't want to go into Mythics with a Crimson Aspirant Medallion. A lot of this other stuff I can kind of get over for now, like this one right here, but I'm not going to be upgrading this PvP gear, really. I did upgrade my weapon, but that's as far as I want to go. I'd like to get some actual PvE gear, maybe just accepting the weapon as the sole piece of dedicated PvP gear that we keep on. However, I did see that we have a way to replace one of our trinkets right here with this daily fishing frenzy. I need 12 fresh steaks, and I get a 258 strength trinket that does extra frost damage on hit. So we're on our way right now to make that happen. Wait a second, can I kill this guy? I'm popping CDs right now. Warbreaker. Another BLADESTORM. Oh my god, how cancer. Remember, I'm in a PvE spec right now. Thunderous Roar. He just healed? I don't want him to heal. I Mortal Struck him. Oh, he's dead, bro. Holy crap. GG. Hey, that's World PvP for you, bro. I did that for a reason, by the way. I need Sparks of Life. Wait, I didn't get one? I thought you were supposed to get one every time. Oh, crap. It's only in the Waking Shore, you donkey. Oh, my goodness. I feel like I always get somebody to kill in this area, too. All right, pull in this guy, too. Pull really hard. Thank you. Hey, 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 come back, come back, come back, come back. Oh, there you go, idiot. Lol. Why couldn't I do that the first time? Imagine being a shark and losing to a pink mohawk gnome. I mean, depressing, actually, for your species, to be real with you. I just got an achievement for catching a fish with a friend. I didn't even know that's how it worked. Look at this. Catch a fish with a friend. So Colton Berg right here, the dwarf, thank you for being my friend on accident. If I'm honest with you guys, I was trying to steal his fish. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Who is this? This guy's attacking me. I don't think this is the same guy. I guess it could be. Let's Avatar. Everything's popped on this guy, by the way. Is he really gonna die in a BLADESTORM right now? Should I BLADESTORM him again? I don't think so. Oh, I guess I should. I pressed the wrong keybind because I have new keybinds for the PvE spec. Arms Warrior actually has a lot on its bars, dude, for whatever reason. Okay, he was, like, super destroyed. Remember, I'm still in my PvP gear, so these guys have no idea. My PvP gear is actually not that bad. It's not the best it can be right now. I don't even have the boots you can buy. I guess I could get that. But like I said, I'm going to take a little bit of a break from the PvP stuff because I get way too obsessed with it and it makes me unhealthy. And then I don't act the way I'm supposed to act. And, like, I understand this is why people don't PvP, right? And honestly, based on all my PvP experience, nothing makes me happier than putting a Death Knight in their place. You know what I mean? There we go.
Oh,
Grawl's Discarded Tooth.
Certainly worthy of a tale or two of your own.
Thank you, Elder Poa. I love the Tuskar, bro. We can go ahead and put this on in place of the Crimson Aspirant Medallion. It's more strength, but it's also just more damage with the equip effect. So now we can find our first Mythic 0. Okay, very first Mythic Plus with this build. And of course, we have made some changes, right? I am going mostly into the bleeds, of course, but I took away the Skull Splitter. Here's the problem with arms, really, in my opinion. There's just too much. There's just too much. Obviously, if you want to master it, you can master it, right? Hey, look, this guy said nice DPS to me. And this guy completely carried us, too. His Raider score is like 2,400, like something ridiculous like that. He came in with his friend. I guess he was, like, carrying his DPS friend. I was like, bro, yeah, come on in, man. Yeah, I did come in first place, though. 61k, almost 62,000 damage overall for the entire dungeon. But anyway, back to the talents, right? So I was using Skull Splitter, but the problem is there's just too many abilities. I'm sure it's good, and a better player is going to be able to utilize it. But at the end of the day, sometimes you have to make something that's actually fun to play. And the idea is, and with all my builds, this is always the case, I want to make something fun to play that's also easy to play, but still gives you good results. That part is not easy. So I'm doing weird things, man. I was using Dance of Death, but honestly, this is complete garbage from my perspective, because I thought it was going to work with Blade Master's Torment on the avatar. It doesn't. So if it did, that would be really sick, but it doesn't look like it does. And I even switched to Spear of the Bastion at one point, but I did that for the crit. But then I actually, as I played this more, and I switched back and forth between bleeds and no bleeds, I said to myself, honestly, Mastery Haste, like, that's what I want, right? So I kind of escaped the crit route, the crit strike damage route with that. I just went full on Thunderous Roar. I went for Blood Surge. I felt like like I was having problems with rage. And you know what? I went for the bloodletting and I went for that whole bloodborne combo as well and put the rend on my bar. Of course, as I'm trying to say, this is the problem with arms warriors, that you just have too much garbage that you might have to use. Might is the problem, right? So I'm trying to hone it in, and you can see on my bars down here, I think I've done an okay job. It's basically overpower, right? You want a mortal strike on cooldown, overpower on cooldown, slam if you have nothing else to do. If it's execute phase, you execute over the slam. Otherwise, you keep your bleeds up. I've been trying to like mess with my cooldowns, like what do I do first? Because BLADESTORM ends up giving me 30% more strength, but I don't think you snapshot in retail, right? I think everything's directly applied, I think. So if I have 30% more strength, I don't know if I have to reapply the rend. In fact, we should go try that on a dummy. But I really like the cleave, and I'm using strength of arms now over extra 6 seconds on the sweeping strikes with the improved sweeping strikes talent. Reason being is because I think that overpower ended up being a lot better than I thought on the overall. You can see it was only 6% of my damage, but it's kind of disingenuous because my AoE is so ridiculous, and the AoE that's ridiculous is not coming from sweeping strikes. Sweeping strikes is nice, it's really good, but I think I can get away with not having 6 more seconds, and instead, I'll take more overpower damage, extremely smooth gameplay when they're below 35% health, and you eke out that overpower, and you get more rage. In fact, I might have too much rage. Sometimes I course correct way too far, right? We will see. Let's go test this on a dummy, though. I really want to see, do you have to snapshot in retail? In other words, do I have to pop my buffs, then apply the bleed, and the bleed's good? Or can I apply the bleed, pop my buffs, and the bleed's still stronger? To me, that's a very important question right now, because I play so many different versions of WoW, and it's just ridiculous trying to figure out what the rule set is. I really do think, like, I once upon a time farmed out this, right? This Plane Strider, the pink thing, and I really do think that this is perfect for this, right? It was meant to be, you know what I mean? Like the purple, the pink. I just need that freaking eye patch, man. First of all, let's try rend without any cooldowns, right? So I need to get like a damage add-on for scrolling combat text because the baseline is so ugly now. It used to be so much more powerful. 3,861 and 7k crits, basically. I'll let it run its course so we'll actually see the damage. This is a PvP training dummy. I'm not sure if that's making a big difference or not. It looks like the rend, though, was about, let's say, almost 40,000 damage, almost. So what if I applied as many ways to increase my damage as possible? So let's go BLADESTORM. We'll let it run its course. We're getting Hurricane right. And then I'm going to go Warbreaker Avatar. Rend. Okay, how does this rend look? 7,600s? Holy crap, dude. Let's let it run its course, right? And then what I'm going to do after this is rend first, then pop the cooldowns and see if it's just as strong. This is just for me, right? So with all my cooldowns, rend did about, let's see, almost 60,000 damage. Just about, a little over, right? It's just really awkward because you kind of want to like Warbreaker first. 30% more damage on everybody. But if you do that, let's see, you have 5 seconds of BLADESTORM, 10 seconds of Warbreaker. You do have some time to Mortal Strike and stuff with all your cooldowns, some time to get 30% more damage on the Thunderous Roar. But again, Arms Warrior is just weird, man. I guess no matter what, I would BLADESTORM first. So let's just BLADESTORM to build the stacks, then rend. Then we'll pop the other cooldowns and see what happens to the rend, right? Okay. So I popped everything. Now what happens to the rend? 5,000? I can't tell. I think it's the 5,000 proc. I guess we'll find out. Okay, it looks like it's done. And rend did, if I did it in a weird way, right? 17.6 plus 47. Wait, is that the same? What the hell? That's so confusing. Like, why did it just do more damage? Maybe I just got more crits, right? I got 1 crit down here as well with that version of rend. And on this one, I got no crits. Oh yeah, so I literally just crit and it gave me exactly what you would expect, but it was the exact same damage. So there is no snapshotting on retail. That's what I get from that. In other words, as long as rend is up on the target and I pop cooldowns, rend suddenly does more damage. I did not expect that. That's so weird, but I'll take it.
2 hours later.
Yo, when your boy spends 108,000 gold on this stupid eye patch, you know it's for real, so let's just do it, man. It's the only one on there. I've seen it way cheaper, sadly, but they got me, you know what I mean? Okay, I can put it on, and I have now collected the appearance. Very, very nice. Let's transmog it real quick. I just randomly checked the AH tonight, and I was like, oh my god, we did it. We got lucky. We can now complete the transmog. Yes, dude, it is as cool as I thought it was gonna be. Oh my god. Guys, now that's really cool. You can't deny that. Let's get in front of this fire. That is badass. Okay, so ultimately experience trumps all, right? So I joined another guy's +2 run, just trying to get some gear, maybe also just understand what's going on with all these dungeons and the affixes, and this happened.
I believe I can fly.
Yeah, so at least I came in first place. I did die in like stupid stupid ways, dude. I just made mistakes towards the end. You ever just get too comfortable? Anyway, let's see. Do we get anything? Of course not. Just primal chaos for now. Well, I've gotten nothing from my M+ runs on this warrior yet. Okay, I was able to make a group for my +4 key because we tried to do it one time already and somebody left on the first pull, so that was nice. That wasn't worth showing, but now we have a +5 no-coup defensive. I'm not gonna lie, this one took a hot second. I tried to go for 3 warrior just to compare myself, right? I came in second place, so let's see who we lost to, right? We have to compare gear-wise. So this is that guy's talents, which actually look just like mine. Like, I just now double-checked just to make sure. He has reaping swings, which I wasn't using. Otherwise, yeah, ignore pain. I'm not using that. But very, very similar, actually. See, ultimately, I think I want to go for a Fury set, so I'm kind of prioritizing a weird build here. I want haste and mastery, and I'm doing that because it all increases the damage of my bleeds. So the idea is just to get all the bleeds up and they just like run their course, and meanwhile I'm just bursting and building up as much strength as I can to increase everything. It's really interesting. This guy has a 378 item level and beat me by 3.1k, so I think that actually makes perfect sense. That makes me feel like I'm on the right track because I'm not using whatever a meta build is, I think. Anyway, let's see what we got. We got something. Strand of Stars. Oh, yikes. Versatility Mastery? It's really interesting, though. A 2-piece. The effect from Chrono Shard now increases speed and haste. Oh, God. That's kind of sad, isn't it? Crit, by the way, is supposed to be the main stat for Arms Warriors, just like all the time. So, okay, let's put it on. I'll take that as a win. Let's go ahead and go B. And who knows, maybe we'll get the Chrono Shard at some point. And there you go. We did a +5. We did my +5 key, no coup defensive. It was a really close one once again. I wonder if I should vet people a little bit more. I mean, we're still completing it. This is the overall. I did 44k, came in first place. Pretty big gap between me and the other DPS, so I'm not dogging them, but I do feel good. The only thing I feel like I have problems with sometimes is I do have some moments where I don't have any rage, and it can get kind of awkward, right? And I could be, you know, utilizing charge better, so before changing anything, I am going to relax, start heroic leaping and charging more if I really need it. And you know what? If I have to, I can take out maybe Test of Might and go for Blood Surge. That's just my first thought, but let's see if we get any gear. I doubt it because we got something in the last run. I've never gotten gear twice in a row. I just assume it's not possible. Yeah, we didn't get anything. We tried to roll for this guy's drop, but honestly, it was a necklace. And even though it's giving me better stats, I just got one, so I can't feel too bad about it. We've already gemmed it up and everything. Okay, there's a +6, and we just got a +8 key, so we didn't do too bad that time. Algathar Academy is not actually that bad from what I've seen so far either, so that's really nice. I like looking at these little graphs. You can see for the majority of the dungeon, I did come in first place. The majority of the dungeon, I am just like spiking up out of nowhere. You could just see a steady progression of me being the best, and it feels freaking good, man. But you know what, guys? I think, just as I suspected, that when you're trying to min-max something in World of Warcraft, ultimately, there aren't really choices. There's only the illusion of choice. Now, I'm not complaining if that illusion of choice is one of two things at least. Number one, genuinely fun to figure out. Number two, actually fun to play. Now, I've been playing enough ARMS to where I feel like I can get over my fear of too many buttons and Skull Splitter and just go for it. Number one, Fatality just feels like an extra 150 to 200,000 damage at the end of a fight, and throughout that fight, Skull Splitter probably will give me the same thing, if not more. That's a guess. We'll see. Number two, I rarely get anything more than maybe I've seen 8% strength at the highest from Test of Might. I don't really have options, though. Like, I've taken so many things out at this point to make room for some of this bleed stuff. So then I say to myself, do I just go in for the kill? You know what? Let's just try the in for the kill. I'm thinking about the haste reducing the cast time theoretically on BLADESTORM. That's going to make me charge up my extra strength from Hurricane. This is what makes it a BLADESTORM pumper, by the way. The BLADESTORM is going off for 5.2 seconds with the Warbreaker effect 4.7 seconds. Throughout that, I'm getting 30% more strength for 6 seconds, 30% more strength, and, you know, it's a little time I get it, right? But I'm hoping I can use it to get a little bit more Thunderous Roar damage, Rend damage, Deep Wounds damage, Mortal Strike damage in the meantime, hopefully coupled with a double overpower into the Mortal Strike. It's a really short window, right? And then we also have when BLADESTORM ends, this is what I was talking about, Whirlwind and Cleave do 50% more damage for 9 seconds. I mean, the combos are just amazing, dude. So right now what I basically do is Warbreaker, Avatar, Thunderous Roar, BLADESTORM, literally in that order. Overpower, Overpower, Rend came out first, by the way, into the Mortal Strike, and I'm done, right? I just start the rotation from there. And if there's anything else there, I, you know, sweeping strikes before I do all that. Oh my god, I keep getting cucked with the Primal Chaos, bro. Just give me some loot. There is some stuff you can craft with that, though. I might check the crafting order stuff. Why not? I wasted so much money in this video off of this freaking eye patch right here. I mean, it's worth it overall for the sick mog. We'll use it for another video or so. And let me know if you like the Mythic key progression, because I might just make more videos with Mythic key progression. Alright guys, we're going to end this with some live commentary on the +8 key, and we'll see how we do. All I want to do is complete the key within the time limit, that's all. And hopefully get something from this dungeon, right? I am playing with the talents I just showed you. We're going for the Skull Splitter, even the Tide of Blood. Alright, let's ready check these guys. Alright, let's go. +8. Bolstering, so more damage and more HP. Storming, while in combat, enemies periodically summon damaging whirlwinds, yikes. And Fortified, which is just more HP, basically. Alright, so we have a big pull here, popping everything into the BLADESTORM. Look at all those numbers. I have like a brand new add-on for it. I don't know if I can handle that many numbers, but we can whirlwind into the cleave right after that. Sweeping strikes. Just start going for the bleeds, right? I don't know if I'm ever going to want Skull Splitter on anything that's not a single target boss fight. I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter to just pop it right there. We can go for the whirlwind cleave and just keep that up as well. I'm basically using those on cooldown, and then you can see it'll actually reset sometimes, which is nice. And I am in first place DPS with about 100k. Like, my AoE is ridiculous. I love it so much, dude. I wish he pulled the entire thing, to be honest with you. Once again, whirlwind, warbreaker to start. Pop that sweeping strike. All right, can I maintain first place DPS? I already got detonated by a seed. It's really hard to see, bro. Oh my goodness. It's really not. Like, there's a big green piece of doo-doo on the ground that you just don't step in. Every time I overpower, I need to remember, like, it does damage to everybody, by the way. So it's like overpower in this game is also AoE, which you might not be used to if you've only played Warrior in previous expansions. I do want to cleave and or Mortal Strike on cooldown, I'm pretty sure, because if I use it on cooldown, what's going to happen is if I get a proc, I'm not going to waste it. Okay, so far so good. But we can maybe see if we can make good use of Skull Splinter. All right, charging in. Warbreaker, popping the cooldowns. Ren before I go into the BLADESTORM, I guess. Maybe I Skull Splitter, then Ren, then BLADESTORM. I don't know. I'll Skull Splitter there, I guess, and then Rend again. It does take all my dots off, right? But what it says is, like, it's really confusing. It says it makes them expire instantly. So, honest to God, at first glance, I thought, why would I just want my dots to go away? It's just like a PvP thing. And then I was like, oh, they're meaning it's actually going to keep doing damage. Like, it's going to make the damage all happen at once, rather. Okay, well, that's actually interesting if you think about it. Potentially quite strong, obviously. All right, Avatar towards the end here. You might notice I'm doing something super weird with this build that a lot of you guys might not like, and I want to make it clear I'm hyper aware of it, and I'm not using Execute. The reason is, if I don't use some of these other talents that make Execute good, like Sudden Death, for example, or Fatality, actually, it doesn't feel like it's worth it to not just, like, keep doing my normal rotation. But I do understand most builds are going crit arms with Execute in every way, and they hyper prioritize it, and they love it. So don't think that I'm saying that I'm automatically the best, but this way of playing is fun. Although I did get slaughtered single target. All right, there we go. Now we have Warbreaker into the BLADESTORM, into the whirlwind that does more damage, cleave as well. Very nice. Another cleave. I think cleave by default, right? If there's at least 3 targets. That's how it used to be, I think. All right, more massive AoE pulls, right? Cleave right there. Sweeping strikes, of course. I do feel like cleave is absolutely amazing to play with. It's not at all like the original cleave, which I think might confuse people. Like the original, like, old heroic strike cleave, where it was just like an attack modifier for your auto attacks. Now it's actually an on-use ability. Much more interesting. It's still just an AoE ability, but it really does slap, and it applies deep wounds to everybody it hits. That's the best part, to be honest. That's why I thought about a bleed build with the AoE. I was like, if I'm already applying bleeds to everybody, I mean, this just makes sense. I'm saving my cooldowns for the boss, by the way, towards the end here. And you can see, like, if it's not a boss fight where it's just one target, I always come in first place DPS. Every single time. Pick the ball up. Heroic leap over there. Oh, I forgot I had to actually click the button. Throwing some balls. Getting destroyed single target. No big deal, of course. Ren back up real quick. Okay, he's dead. 2 more to go, guys. Super quick so far. Holy crap. Okay, this is a really big and messy pull. I think somebody's dying. I'm trying my best not to die. And just to AoE. Oh, okay. At least I was doing really good before we inevitably died. Honestly, I did think we were going to wipe, but last 3 standing actually pulled it through. We made it back, and they're still alive. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, it's good that the healer recovered with the tank, but also it feels bad, man, that you were the one that died. So it's moments like these that really bring out the whole, like, big dick DPS, BLADESTORM pumper archetype out, right? Like, you just casually are in first place. The BLADESTORM is so freaking fun. One thing I like is that even though I feel like ARMS has a lot of crap going on, it's actually really easy to play. You know, it's mostly proc central. I really like those types of specs. As you guys know, Shaman has a lot of that, which is really fun as well. Essentially, things light up and I click on it. Now, I never want my stacks to be overlapping. I always want to use my procs when I can make them happen. I Warbreaker and use all my cooldowns. basically on cooldown. Yeah, there's like a prio, but it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it is a big deal, but it's also not based on that testing we did earlier, right? The only weird thing for me is right there. You see all those numbers? That was Skull Splitter. All that damage was the Skull Splitter making all my dots basically blow up at once, right? I've read some comments from people on things like Wowhead. Like, that's basically where I'm getting my info, is Reddit and Wowhead, right? And people are talking about how they don't think Skull Splitter is that big single target damage. They said it was more about, I don't know, getting rage. Like I said, I'm basically good rage-wise now. I never had a super horrible problem. It was just occasionally, and Skull Splitter 100% fixes it. But sometimes I'm doing so well with rage, I just want a Skull Splitter for the damage, and I do wonder if that's wrong sometimes. Like, I could start like this, Skull Splitter, pop every cooldown, because why not? Go for a Rend, then go for the BLADESTORM. We can see how that works, right? And we just make sure, like, we get orbs, I think. We'll just keep up all of our damage. Mortal Striking, obviously, on cooldown, basically. Slam when there's nothing else to do. Overpower right here. You can see I have a weak aura. The weak aura tells me when I have 2 stacks of overpower. I just like to know. And also, sometimes it lets you line up a better Mortal Strike. I need to get that Rend back up. I went ahead and I Skull Splintered. I don't even know if that was correct, but we did it. If I don't come in last place for the DPS right now, I'll feel really good. Because I was losing pretty badly to that Demon Hunter before. I look like I'm ahead of him right now, which is really interesting because I did things slightly different with this rotation. Skull Splitter's coming up, so I guess renew the Rend. Skull Splitter, put the Rend back up. Mortal Strike, I guess. Like, that's how I've basically been doing it so far. Okay, he's dead. How do we do? Okay, that's better than we've been doing for single target specifically. We're like 100,000 DPS when we have cooldowns with all of our AoE. Actually, it's more. And then we're like a cool casual 50, 60, 70k AoE. And then we're like 30 to 40k single target if we're really lucky. But like right now, Warbreaker, Thunderous Roar into the BLADESTORM. That's how it works. Whirlwind's coming right after with the cleave after that. So there you go. And there we go into the sweeping. Start rending. And I can tab target the Rend, which is interesting. Skull Splinter, just to show it to you guys again. Super casual, right? Huge DPS, super casually. The bigger the pull, the better. If the tank can handle it, you really want to recommend that they do that because you can actually decimate so much. I had a guy earlier on like a +2. He pulled everything. I think I showed you parts of that. And yeah, I was just like destroying it all. Massive DPS, dude. Once again, just casually first place DPS. Proc Central all day. Cleave right there. Slam. I just love it, dude. Like, I think this is actually my favorite class. I've played Shaman, Rogue, Warrior, and a little bit of Evoker. And I think Warrior and specifically Arms is my favorite. It's a bit of a shame because I'm going to keep the spec, obviously, but I know I'm going to switch and try Fury some more. I think Fury was also super fun and super easy to play. They're both very similar. I mean, they're very bursty, and they both have a lot of AoE. I think Arms is considered better than Fury right now, though, so that actually kind of does give my hipster brain some incentive to try Fury more. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think, though. And plus, like I said, I do want to go Haste Mastery. Number 1, because it's neato with this version of the spec, even if it's less good, but number 2, it's perfect with Fury from what I have seen, right? Oh god, almost died to those whirlwinds and pulled some crap, dude. That was really bad. Okay, it looks like we're okay there. Straight up choking and clicking the wrong button. Still second place, though. All right, I need to get away from the whirlwind. You know, as we progress with the keys, some of the things I've been hit by would actually kill me, and that's why I'm happy I'm doing some of this practice right now. You know, believe it or not, even though I can rush things sometimes to my own detriment, I do acknowledge, and I'm kind of keeping in that low key range, just trying to make sure I still know how to play the game right. And I'm hoping it naturally progresses into a higher key within the video. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That sucks. But if it does, that would be great, right? I just want to be like ready and fresh, have played prior keys and remembering the mechanics and be ready to go, you know? I'm going to be able to get my second round of mini cooldowns off, but I don't know if I'm supposed to save the BLADESTORM for that. Anything not to come in last place right now, basically. Like, we're on the last boss. Everything's good. We have our percentage. 9 minutes left. Super cool. Could have probably done a +10 just barely in the time with the same group. Feeling great about that. Remember, I haven't tried any PvE until today on this guy. I'm pretty happy with the progress so far, the Mythic Plus journey. And yeah, I think I would like to do more. It might not be on this guy, but it could definitely be on this guy. Although I like to show different things. It might be a Fury Warrior, or it might be on the Rogue. Let me know what you want to see, you know? All right, Warbreaker right there into the Thunderous Roar. I do definitely feel like the Skull Splitter is pretty good for damage, right? Like with this add-on, I'm seeing so many numbers that I otherwise wouldn't have seen before. There you go. Nice. +2'd it. So I have a +10 now. No coup defensive. And that's a really good key for the next video. Oh, and I get primal chaos. Yay. No, but honestly, guys, I'm happy to get the progress in. That's great. Yeah, so overall, this is the spec right now. I will put the little spec link in the description below if you want to copy it. Although, keep in mind, this is my build, not something that people are touting as the best in the world. It's crazy AoE. It's done good for me so far, and I'm going to keep iterating on it as we move on, right? Yeah, so that was basically it. 40.6k overall. We did beat the mage, and we beat everybody, man. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, the single target might be laxing a bit, but bro, I make up for it by just stomping all of you on pull to pull. Yeah, I really like this, guys. Okay, I think this is going to be it, guys. I actually don't know how long this video is right now. I guess you'll know, but if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. Major thanks to all of my channel members. You guys are awesome. You really do give me massive motivation, and you help the channel immensely. And if you want to become a channel member, it's only $1.99 on the cheapest option, and you get a slew of extra emotes, Discord options, Discord channels you can join, member badges, sub badges, all this jazz, right? And even community posts and polls. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, like and sub like I said. I will definitely see you in the next one. Mcdoubles out.